So around 4 months back, I was in Singapore, and in Singapore, when I was moving out from India, during that visit, I thought that okay, if I don't carry a currency which is Singapore dollar, is it going to make any difference? I had heard a lot about Singapore being a financial services hub and everything of that nature. So I thought that if I don't carry currency, is it going to make any difference in my life? And thus, when I lived in Singapore, 5 days I did not carry any Singapore dollar, and I thought, let me try to live that journey. 5 days went by. I created a post, I pasted it on LinkedIn and other forums, and after that, as it happens, and as many people have earlier suggested, is this that once that posting was done, I received number of messages wherein people said that, boss, yes, Singapore में हो सकता है, India में नहीं हो सकता. India में you cannot, cash is something which forms part of 97% of our transactional behavior. So you won't be able to do this. So I thought, okay, let me give it a shot and let me give it a try. And thus started this journey, wherein starting from 13th of March, I stopped carrying cash, which means that wheresoever I go, wheresoever I travel, whether it is I travel to Shirdi, Nasik, or various parts of India, I stopped carrying cash. So what happens? Something which was earlier alluded to, fear. So fear kicks in. That when you start something which is in a completely uncharted territory, you start with a fear whether it is going to work or not. But it's like this, that सर्दियों में ठंडे पानी का पहला लोटा. The moment you add that, उसके बाद life सारी की सारी आसान हो जाती है. Then after that, while I was doing this, at that same point of time, a thought came in my mind and I wrote, अफसोस न रह जाए ये तेरी जिंदगी में फैज. ये मैंने फैज को डेडिकेट किया कि भाई अफसोस न रह जाए ये तेरी जिंदगी में फैज, कि काश मौके बेमौके एक पत्थर तो उठाया होता. So I thought that, okay, let me pick it up, let me take it forward, and let me try to see what it means. Then, when I started exploring, and then when I started building it up, I realized that in India, our economy, around $2.2 trillion is what we have as an economy. Out of this economy, approximately 25%, which is the lowest one, and 75%, which is the higher one, is formed by black economy, or essentially cash. So if you eliminate this black economy from the value chain, what can happen? What is that essentially which you can achieve? If you do that, in such circumstance, what you end up with is approximately 500 billion on the lower side and approximately 1500 billion on the higher side coming to the normal economy. What it means further is this, that even if this comes at a 10% taxation, it means 50 billion coming to the government war chest, and out here it means 150 billion coming to the government war chest. What this means is this: have you heard of a program called NREGA? The NREGA scheme, the current budgetary allocation for NREGA is 34,699 crores, which means in dollar terms it is $5 billion, which means that this is what, when goes in form of cash economy, and if it actually comes in back in form of a digital economy with lot of fintechs and other people are trying to bring in, it can take care of NREGA budgets by just 1 year of taxation benefit for 10 years, which means that 11 crore Indians which are dependent on National Rural Employment Guarantee for a daily wage labor of 100 days will be in a position to get labor, which means that it can act as a huge hindrance to rural-urban migration, which is one of the biggest problem that we are grappling with, a nation of 130 crore odd people. NREGA, by the way, I'm sure you are aware of, as an aware audience, that NREGA is the world's largest employment generation program it ever attempted for. What it means further is that there is a scheme known as Janani Suraksha Yojana. Whenever you get time and if at all there is a rural immersion program available for you, at that instance, try visiting a village which is around 50 kilometers from Khandwa, known as Phokatpura. The name of the village Phokatpura is primarily because of the reason that everyone who lives over there has grabbed the land on Phokat, so therefore the name Phokatpura and its actual name. So the name of this village became Phokatpura because everyone has a land which is grabbed. Now in this village, Phokatpura, there is a tribe which lives which is Korku. Now Korku tribe never had a count beyond 20. The reason why Korku tribe never had a count beyond 20 is this, that the tribe still lives in a barter system. And as they never had anything to trade beyond 20, so therefore the count never went beyond 20. And in this village, which is approximately not more than 150 to 200 kilometers away from Indore city, the Janani Suraksha Yojana program supports the mother, the pregnant woman post-delivery. It takes care of 15 days of healthy meal so that she can provide sustained good food to the kid. And such 1.3 crore women across India annual basis get this benefit of scheme known as Janani Suraksha Yojana, and the annual planned expenditure for all national rural and health national rural health programs all put together is 24,000 crores, which means that just this tax benefit can lead to almost 100 years of no infant child mortality, which means नवजात शिशु मृत्यु दर आप कम कर सकते हैं सिर्फ एक स्टेप से, which is moving from cash driven economy to cashless or a digital economy. So this was one of the primary thought with which the thought process started, and I started documenting that how all and what all we as a country, we as a nation, we as individuals can do to make our economy much more digital, much more cash free. And it frankly measures well with, say, the MBA institutions like you, wherein you or IITians or others who create fintech startups who actually disrupt the market and believe in building the digital ecosystem, which can go a long way in terms of building it all. I think to an extent what I intend to say also was summarized in a different context altogether, and I love to read it again and again and again and again. And that was somewhere in early 50s or so when Dushyant Kumar wrote, and I'm sure all of might have heard about it, हो गई है पीर पर्वत सी पिघलनी चाहिए, हो गई है पीर पर्वत सी पिघलनी चाहिए, इस हिमालय से कोई गंगा निकलनी चाहिए। शर्त यह थी कि ये बुनियाद हिलनी चाहिए, हाथ लहराते हुए हर लाश चलनी चाहिए। हंगामा खड़ा करना मेरा मकसद नहीं, हंगामा खड़ा करना मेरा मकसद नहीं, सारी कोशिश ये है कि ये सूरत बदलनी चाहिए। मेरे सीने में ना सही, मेरे सीने में ना सही, तेरे सीने में सही, हो कहीं भी आग लेकिन आग जलनी चाहिए। So this was frankly the orientation, and this was frankly the thought process with which the journey started. Now once the journey reached a stage, the realization was that not just this, we as common masses, common people, we also do a lot of other things, which is, I just asked few of your colleagues that how much of cash they might be keeping as of now in their wallet. Most of them have the answer, which was 500 to 1000 rupees. Now if you put all this together and if you multiply with any number, we have a 130 crore nation, if you apply it even 20% of population, which means 26 crores, and if you add this 1000 to that 26 crores, which means as if now at this moment 26,000 crores is lying in pocket of Indians, which is possibly the lowest common thing that we could have thought of. 26,000 crores is lying dead in your pockets. What that means? What it means simply is this, that if you look at it from the perspective of simple working capital loan at a 10%, it means that you are having a dead asset which is not leading to any benefit to you, and 2600 crores are going dead every year. If all of this would have been digital, you would have taken care of 1.3 crore women and 1.3 crore kids not dying because of infant child mortality just because of the tax accrual. Then some of those who are of the age of our parents and all, I asked them that what is the money which lies at the household level? Which means if you call up your parent and ask them कि पापा अभी घर में कितने पैसे रखे होंगे, on an average, an Indian typical household, which is kind of a middle income kind of a household, 10,000 रुपए से 25,000 रुपए तक is something which they keep. Which means, now if you multiply this with this, which means 2,60,000 crore is lying as if now dead in home, which is not an asset, which is not a revenue generating proposition, which simply means that we are wasting that much more opportunity, and therefore we are wasting that much more to impact. Next slide, please. So this is NREGA, which is about providing 100 days of labor. The next. This is Janani Suraksha Yojana. Next. National Social Assistance Program, wherein the overall budget of that program is 10,000 crores. That 10,000 crores supports hundreds of lakhs annually for social assistance, which means old age, widow, war widow, and many more. Next. So, who all I met in this journey? I met in this journey with Javed. Javed is a Uber driver in Bombay. Javed had an interesting story. Just 6 months to a year back, he used to walk barefoot from Ghatkopar to Kurla to earn a daily wage. He dreamt of something. He took a bit of loan from nearby, from support and other things, and it is in a 6 months to year period, the transformation which has happened, the transformation was driven by again a startup which thought of transforming the way people commute, and Uber changed his life. Now his monthly earning, and he has shown me the pics of him with pots of notes being lying here and there, and he earns approximately 60 to 80,000 net as an inward. And now what cashless has done for him is this, that as a result of direct account credit into his bank account, yes, some of you might be surprised that is it so? Yes, in Bombay, a good Uber or Ola taxi driver can earn anywhere between 60 to 80,000 a month. In this period, what has happened is this, because of regular bank account credit into his account, it has led to a credit history creation for him. Those of you who are MBA student, those of you who are finance student, you know that ability to lend is dependent upon willingness to pay and ability to pay. His ability to pay can now be assessed because of credit received from Uber, and therefore he moves into next phase in life. Next. I met with this guy, I met him in Nasik. He's an auto driver of Jugnu. Now, what he said is something which mesmerizes me even now. He said that, साहब जब नासिक में उबर ओला आई तो मेरे बहुत सारे दोस्तों ने उबर ओला के साथ जुड़ करके कमाना चालू करा, और मैं सिंपल ऑटो वाला था, मैं सोचता था कि मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ. एंड देन जुगनू करके एक ऑटो सर्विस है वो आया, एंड जुगनू स्टार्टेड providing us new form of consumers who can walk in and be a part of it. So मैंने उससे पूछा कि तुम what is that which you want out of it? He said, साहब मैं ये चाहता हूँ कि अब जो मेरे पास अच्छा पैसा आ रहा है, I will provide better education to my kids, because you don't know where in the world somebody creates an app and then benefits thousands and millions like us. And God knows, साहब मेरे बच्चों ने अगर कोई ऐप क्रिएट कर दी तो, and frankly I still can, that's the power of aspiration which a lot of these fintech startups and others have given to this environment. Next. what must be the distance of an ATM from your place? The distance of an ATM from your place is just this. You just go outside and you go to an ATM. That's the distance you have from ATM. She's Shama. The distance for her of ATM from his place, from her place, was 28 years. She waited 28 years for her first access to an ATM, and it took us 55 days to convince her, her parents, her husband, and everyone else in the locality as well, for her to have a bank account of her own, wherein she can walk into an ATM on her own, wherein she is in a position to access the money that we provide her in form of a salary on her own. It took her 28 years to visit an ATM which was just next door as much as it is for you. So that's what cashless journey means. It means empowering those who have never felt the benefits of life as much as you and I have done. So that's what it is all about. The next phase came when after second credit of her salary, I asked her, तो पिछली सैलरी का क्या हुआ? And she said, साहब वो तो अकाउंट में ऐसे ही रखी है. हम सेविंग्स की सोच रहे हैं. This was something which she had never thought of. When you provide a direct bank account credit, that's what you empower people to achieve. Then Bombay and Powai area specifically is filled up with lot of startups who are doing n number of more things. This is a group of bunch of people who came to my place for a house cleaning and other things. All of them work for a startup called TaskBob. What TaskBob did is this, that we all talk about our dividend, which is youth dividend and other things of our country and all. Startups like TaskBob provided them with an opportunity to build a skill, and the skill which can be deployed, and that's how they started reaching out, connecting, and making more of it and on a regular basis. Now, this was something which, again, the question which I asked this gentleman was, what is the biggest impact that you have seen of this? He said, Saab, the biggest impact of this was I got personal loan. I said, personal loan, how it can be a biggest impact? The same story repeats over here also, that out here, for the first time, because of the fact that via TaskBob, I started getting a regular salary. Therefore, it is because of that my bank, who never used to appreciate who the hell I am, is now interested to provide me loans. What all this cashless and a digital society can lead to, apart from all of this, is that it can lead to millions and millions and millions more who will have access to financial services, bank credit, and it might not matter to you, but the cost of funeral is 30,000 rupees in a village. What a cashless or a digital ecosystem which enables him to opt for an insurance can mean is proper funeral and burial for the family members. It might be a given for many of us, but in village and in last mile towns, at times people don't get that. Having an excess of digital cash coming into account and then the same getting debited in form of getting an insurance cover is something which again empowers a lot of them to have a real financial inclusion. It does not mean begging and borrowing from others. And the deep shit which they get into again and again of poverty is driven by the fact that they do not get access to formal means of finance and other things, and this is what it achieves. Now in the last set of remarks, cashless hoiye, digital hoiye, you don't know how many lives you will impact. Thank you.